Hello, my name is Bella Bains, and today I will be overviewing an anatomy of recovery, the role of social capital in Puerto Rico post Hurricane Maria. I encourage you to pause this video to read more about the content covered. Here we see three examples of American communities affected by disaster over the past 2 decades. Have these communities recovered? How do we know? How long does this process take? Defining recovery and isolating the variables that contribute to this recovery is of great interest to the HATS team and the BHA, prompting the development of the HATS framework for recovery. The framework, shown here, attempts to account for variables across the disaster timeline to assess which characteristics contribute to a new normal and to determine if that new normal is transformative, disruptive, or destructive. A primary hypothesis posed by this framework is that the presence and utilization of social capital at all phases of the disaster timeline is a critical determinant of recovery. Hurricane Maria, which struck Puerto Rico in September of 2017, was the deadliest hurricane in Puerto Rico's history. While 65 deaths have been attributed to the storm directly, researchers estimate 4,645 excess deaths occurred in the 3 months following Maria's landfall, and connect these staggering losses to the complete collapse of Puerto Rican infrastructure. Connecting the devastation of Maria to our hypothesis that social capital has a critical impact on recovery, we can see that the colonial neglect of Puerto Rico on the part of the federal government represents the failure of a critical linking network. Here we see 3 illustrations of this relationship. For the sake of time, we will only discuss the top right image. In January of 2017, the governor referred to Puerto Rico's finances as a death spiral. PROMESA, the federal government's solution to deficits, saw divestment in public services, resulting in a hollowing out of critical infrastructure pre-Maria. In contrast, bonding or familial and bridging or community networks served as sources of resilience for Puerto Ricans post-Maria. A primary conclusion that can be drawn from these initial observations is that the institutional level failures, which serve as linking social capital networks in this framing, eclipse the benefits of the familial and community level resilience demonstrated by Puerto Ricans, resulting in poorer lived outcomes. While the story I've just narrated is far from a complete explanation of Hurricane Maria's impacts, it will be incorporated into a larger HATS team effort to understand the recovery process by engaging in a comparative case analysis of 4 destructive hurricanes using the recovery framework developed by our team. And with that, I'd like to thank the HATS recovery team. If you have any questions about the research presented here or want to learn more about HATS research, please contact me at bains1@email.arizona.edu. Thank you for listening.